Please. Okay. Okay, let's go. I live in São Paulo. It's warm. About 30 degrees Celsius. I'm 35 years old. I live with my girl, but we are not married on paper. And I work as a developer since 2007, always as a Java developer. At the beginning, the Java was full stack using JSP, struts, and other technologies from that time. And in more recent years, using Java for the backend with Spring Boot, and on the front end, I work with Angular framework for the front end. So that's a very brief of myself. I began 2.5 years ago, on 2021. 2.5 years ago. 2021. And I was part of the team that developed a tag you put on the car to pass on tools on highways, you know? You don't have to like sem parar. Yes. I worked on this project and it was Angular for the front end and Java with Spring Boot for the back end. And I do maintenance on the recharging system, which is a service, web service, a REST web service running on a WebSphere application server, you know. So what's common is to have a REST service running in Spring Boot, but in this case we have the REST service running on WebSphere. But I just do small changes and bug fixes on this other project. And at the beginning, at a computer manufacturing company, and I was there for 1 year, and it was an international project with people from India. Okay, there we had about 10 developers on my team, and what the work was to do small changes, bug fixes, new functionalities on a lot of systems that uses Spring Boot for the backend and Angular for the frontend. Okay, we were on this squad 10 developers, and we have a PO. This PO did the role of both the Scrum Master and the PO itself. So he brings the functionalities and bugs to the team. We had a Scrum developing a Scrum Agile environment, you know. So we had those planning meetings at the start of the sprint. The sprint took two weeks each one. So during the sprint we had daily meetings with the team, and at the end we had the review process. So we are 10 developers, this project owner, the PO, and the PO sent our code to the quality team. So the quality team was not integrated in the developer team, so we were not talking to them every day. So that's a brief of what I did there. Small changes and new functionalities on those systems. There were a lot of them, but all of them were with this architecture: Spring Boot on the back end and Angular on the front end. About 1 year, I guess. And before that, I was at another international project at IBM. 1 year and 10 months, I guess. 1 year and 9 months, in fact. Less than 2 years. And this one was for. Sorry, can you repeat this question? Okay. I started at August 2019, and it ended 2021 on April. So it was 1 year and 8 months. It was 2021 April, right, until 2022 January. Okay. as I understood, it was an interview from a reporter to the player. As I understood, he was a cricket player, right? The cricket sports, and he was at the beginning saying that there was a lot of change. He said 99% of change of success, but without the grip, it's like the persistence and the discipline of training and playing the matches. He said that there was a high change of everything going okay, but without this grip, he could not do it. So he says at the end that the lesson that we can take from this interview is that you can have a lot of chances of succeed, but if you don't have grip, you can fail. And as I understood, he could succeed on this match. That was what I understood of this interview. Okay, she is asking to have the 10th person which has the higher salary on the company on SQL. So in this database they have the employee ID and the employee name, and she wants to know the 10th highest salary. So I guess that it sounds like an interview where she is asking how to make a SQL query to get the 10th employee on the company with the higher salary, and she wants to know the ID and name from that employee. That is what I understood. 17 years. Yes, from 2007. A lot of time. 7 years. AWS, 2 years. 2 years. Microservices, 10 years. At the beginning with SOAP microservices, and in recent years with REST ones. Yes, all the companies I worked on the last 10 years used Agile methodologies. Yes, for sure. Azure no, just studies. Not as the role of the tech lead, but sometimes on teams when there were less experienced developers, I became the tech reference. So people ask me questions and ask for help, but I never had this role of a tech lead, a formal role. Yeah. Okay. Okay, the project came to an end, and then I was available, and I did a lot of internal process. But the first one, which I had a positive return, was from that was the reason. I could not wait until a new international one starts, so I started this one. Okay. Well, the first thing for me now is the remote work, because the company is reaching back to a hybrid model. Some days on the office, some days at home, and I want to keep it working fully remote. And the other thing is an international project, because I think that all Brazilian developer has this dream of working for a remote company and at some moment starts to earn an international salary and still living in Brazil. So that's my career dream, and I guess that joining an international project, even making money in Brazilian currency now, that would be good because I will gain experience as an international developer. So those two things are the most important now. At first, to keep working remotely, that's the most important thing for me. And second, being on an international project. Together, it was about 2.5 years, I guess. It's 1 year and 8 months plus 8 months. So I need to make the accounting. From August to time to December. So it was 1 year, 2 years, and 2 years and 5 months, I guess, making the accounting now in English. So it was from August 2019 to December 2021. So 1 year and August, September, October, November, December. 2 years and 5 months. Okay, so I will record this video now on the interview, right? Okay, no problem. Let's go. Okay, for sure. Well, on the past 2.5 years, I worked with Angular for the front end and Spring Boot for the back end. The first project I worked, it lasted 8 months. It was an international project for their company, and there we had this, which is a very common work set, where we had the Spring Boot for the back end with microservice architecture. We had the Spring Data to save data and retrieve data from the database. And my work was to develop new functionalities on existing systems. There were a lot of them, but a lot of different systems, but all of them with the same architecture, right? So Angular for the front end and Spring Boot with microservices for the back end. We were a team of 10 developers, being me the only Brazilian. All other developers were from India, and we have a agile environment, so we had daily meetings, and we had review meetings at the end of the sprint and a planning meeting at the beginning of it. So this project lasts 8 months. Then I switched to another project inside the same company, which is a banking company from Brazil. And there I worked on two products of them. The first one was a new project which was already being built when I joined the company, so I was not part of the team from the day one, but I was part of it during the developing process. It was Angular for the front end and Spring Boot for the back end. So I developed as part of three developer people on this team, and I was one of them, and I made some functionalities there. And which with this project, I had another one there where I worked on a legacy system in Java. It was a REST web service, but instead of running on Spring Boot, which is something more common, it ran on a WebSphere application server. So I'm working on this project 2.5 years now, and that's the brief of my current state in the market. For a little period of time, 6 months long, I was working at a company as a Java developer, but the project ended, and then they put me on a .NET project, which was funny, but it was very little. But as I know that the moment of the market is not good, I'm working with a position once it's remote. Na verdade, eu queria saber só assim, de tudo que você explicou, deu para entender algumas dúvidas que eu tinha, né? Eu queria só saber se tem um início, uma data de início para essa posição, ou se ainda não tem. De repente é com eles lá, né? Na próxima. Tá, não, beleza, sem problemas. Certo, esse East você sabe mais ou menos como é que é. East é da costa leste, né? É o Way. Eu acho que esse é o mais tarde, né? Aliás, é mais cedo, talvez. Não sei, não sei. Acho que é o de Nova York, né? Tá ok, sem problema. Ah, sim. É provavelmente uma hora antes, no caso, né? Se eles estão ao leste. Perfeito. Se fosse no oeste, era mais tarde. No leste é mais cedo. Não, tranquilo, beleza. Tá ok. Perfeito. Tá ok, imagina, eu que agradeço. Bom dia. Tchau, tchau. Bom, dia 11 horas da manhã, segunda entrevista do dia terminou agora, totalmente em inglês. São dois processos totalmente novos, né? Então, até agora, aquela semana passada, teve um que deu retorno negativo, né? E se o outro também der, quer dizer que eu perdi a primeira semana, não gerou frutos. Então, aqui é essa segunda semana, apesar que ainda tem alguns processos lá pendentes ainda, né? Eu não sei se eu vou evoluir, se não vou, né? Mas esse aí, por exemplo, que já negou era o que estava mais adiantado, né? O outro que tem agora está empatado com ele, que seria a etapa de ir para o cliente, né? E agora vamos ver, né? Vamos esperar, foi uma boa conversa, só que esse foi internacional ele tem muitas etapas, né? Então, essa daí foi só a primeira conversa de mais um processo aí.